We are
Ain't Done Yet, Blues and Grooves.
On a Monday, I was arrested. On a Tuesday, I was locked up in jail.
So how we got together was online. I think I met Al at a kind of music event at the Borders, and we kind of paired up then, and then I think spoke to you, Paul.
I'd put an advert in a local musician sort of site, and two people got back to me, and Love It was one of them, and I warmed to Love It straight away, even though that was the wrong thing to do now it turns out, but I did warm to him straight away, and he said come down and we'll have a little jam together, see what happens.
What then happened was Paul, we all met up and just started chatting away and got on, and then started playing some music and got on even better. So we've been playing a variety of places, from beer festivals to bars, over the last few months, and got some nice gigs lined up.
Well, I originally come from Liverpool, and when I was growing up it was a very musical city. The Beatles kind of ruled everything, but there was lots of Merseybeat bands. So I grew up as a sort of fairly young child, learning Beatles songs and all that kind of thing. But then when I was about 12, my brother-in-law gave us a Robert Johnson LP, and I'd never heard anything like that before. And I was really overwhelmed by it. I just couldn't work out what this music was about, how he was singing, how he was playing. So I got my first guitar when I was about 12, and as well as learning sort of Beatles and Rolling Stones songs, I was learning Robert Johnson songs at the same time. So it was really kind of quite a mixed upbringing. And even though I've played in different types of pop bands and rock bands and psychedelic rock bands, the blues has always been like a theme right through that. And as I've got older in life, the blues is the one that hasn't diminished.
As a teenager up in the north of Scotland, there wasn't a lot going on, so you kind of had to make your own entertainment, which sounds like it was the dark ages, but at times it felt like that. So we would pick up guitars and guys would pick up drums, and I put together a band with some good friends. We played a few gigs and then kind of left it alone. Reason we played was a lot of the blues was kind of three chords, which was very accessible to teenagers. We could get it right off. There's bands like the Stones playing stuff like Honky Tonk Woman, which was really exciting, and again, 3-4 chords in there, so I could immediately pick it up and get on with it. So played on and played with a variety of groups around Scotland, and got into playing with Ain't Done Yet 6 months ago, which is hugely interesting because it's neither a solo guy on the guitar and it's neither a band, but it kind of hovers somewhere in between and gives an intensity of sound which often isn't available to bands, because 4 or 5 piece bands you can get a bit lost in the mix there, whereas with 3 guys you immediately know what's going on around you.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fraud in the band because I'm not a great blues aficionado. I came to it late. Didn't think I'd maybe even like the blues, but seems I do. I sort of started off, I was a drummer way back in the 70s, and I was in various bands, rock, I wanted to be a rock star, and I was in various bands in the Scottish Borders. My son-in-law made me, for a Christmas present, he made me this cajon, which is just essentially a box with a snare in it, and so I really enjoyed the sort of simplicity of it.
Ain't done yet. Blues and
Grooves.
Trouble.